Business Mastery content. This week we are going to be tackling your online marketing. I love online marketing because it's such a great supplement to what you do offline. There are a lot of businesses that try to play all online or all offline, and I think if you really separate it, you're kind of missing opportunities. There are so many great opportunities online. Now, it's important to understand that online leads convert really differently from offline leads. If you meet let's do an offline scenario. Let's say you go to a networking meeting and you meet somebody. You follow up with them the next day, you set an appointment for the following week. You get together that following week, you close them on a package, and then you work on upselling. Offline leads can move really quickly. Online leads need more time and a lot more nurture because there's not that person-to-person connection. The difference with online versus offline is you can gather in more people at once. So it's like expanding the pool and bringing them all in. It's the difference between fishing with a net versus fishing with a fishing line. With a net, you can pull in a whole lot of people at once. Now, understand that an online lead, somebody that you just strictly meet online that opts in for some sort of freemium, they're going to take about 18 to 20 nurture emails before they're ready to purchase a $1,000 program from you. There's ways to speed that up and there's ways to make your conversion happen faster, but you just need to understand that online marketing is a different game. What's happening in the online world is you're constantly bringing in new people, you're constantly nurturing a pool of people, and there's constantly somebody who is ready to purchase from you. I love with my online marketing that I never have to wonder who am I going to sell to this month. It's just a matter of looking into our database and seeing who's engaging and who's ready to roll. And I love that about my online marketing. A couple of other things with the online marketing, you have to be a lot more committed. You know, in the offline world, you could go to a networking meeting or you could do a class, you could go do a live speaking presentation, and then you could not do anything again for a while, and then you could jump back in and say, okay, just kidding, I'm ready to hold class again, and you could go start holding classes again. And you didn't really lose much in the meantime other than missed opportunity. Online marketing doesn't work that way. You have to be very committed. I tell people, are you ready? And they tell me, I want to do online marketing. I tell them, are you ready to be married to your marketing? Because we're talking about that level of commitment, that you do it whether you feel like it or not. And here's the reason why. If you gather in a bunch of leads, let's say you do an expert summit, which is one of my favorite online things to do. You do an expert summit and you gather a bunch of leads. Well, if you stop working those leads, then you lose the leads. It's not that they're just not ready to purchase when you wanted them to, it's that they will forget about you, and then when you start sending to them again, they unsubscribe or they report you because they don't know who you are. So I had a client who had an email list of like 10,000 people. She had bought this business. Maybe it wasn't that high. It was pretty high though. It was a good sized list. And she had bought this business. Well, the people before had never used email marketing. So every time someone purchased, they collected their email, but they never marketed to them. And so she came in and, you know, same business name, they chose new ownership, and she started sending out emails, and she had a lot of people unsubscribe. Now, she also had a lot of people purchase from her, and for her, she was like, you know what, I'm happy about this. If I had 20% of my list unsubscribe, well, they're 20% of the people that weren't going to purchase anyway. But, you know, I had 15% of the people purchase and engage with me, so I'm going to consider that a win. So if you've been naughty with your online marketing, you have been inconsistent, I'm not saying you have to scrap those people and start over. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying be prepared, you're going to lose some. If you haven't had that conversation with them, some of those people are just going to go away. They're going to be like, I don't even remember who this is. I don't know I'm getting this email. Unsubscribe. And that's just part of the game. What we're really looking at with online marketing is being very, very consistent, because I'm just going to give you some examples from my business. Let's take, for example, my Thursday night conference calls. It's all about the weekly nature of it. That's what helps that to be really successful for us in online lead generation, because one week I'll have 10 new leads come in. And then the next week, I'll have 150 new leads come in. And then another week, I have 75 leads come in. And then another week, I have 20. And so it's inconsistent, but the value comes in the fact that I do it every single week. So maybe I do have a bad week. No big deal, because the next one can be awesome. Now, I like it when they're all good, and there's things that I'll teach you about how to make it more consistently solid. But know that you will have some that just don't simply do as well as others. And the way that we avoid ups and downs in our business is by the consistency of it. So online marketing, you don't dip your toe in and just try and see. You've got to do it consistently to work all the kinks out. Let me use again another example for our Straight Talk for Small Biz calls. When we very first started, they were awesome. We were working with partners that knew us well, we knew them well, and they were awesome. Then we went on vacation for 2 weeks, and we came back and set them up again. And this time we had partners who they didn't love us quite as much, and they didn't promote really well. And so they kind of flopped. And so we had been gone for 2 weeks, so our people weren't in the habit, and they had kind of forgotten. So I did 3 weeks in a row calls with 10 people. But here's where the consistency kicks in. When you're doing something consistently, you can course correct and tweak because you understand what's not working. And so we made the course corrections. We started sending out an agreement to our partners. We started changing up our promotion to re-engage our people into the calls. And then we got things in place. It took us 3 weeks to turn it around, but now they're working really well again. And we've had 2 really successful calls in a row. Now we're taking a couple weeks off for Christmas, and I imagine January is going to be revving it back up again. But that's the value of consistency. And let's see how many times I can say consistency in this video. It matters. You can't just say, I'll give it a shot and see how it works, because one time doesn't give you enough time to work the kinks out. And there will be things that you need to tweak. There will be things that you can improve. There will be things to learn. So in your online marketing, number one thing, you have got to get committed to doing it and just be relentlessly consistent. Now, I'm not saying you have to do a once a week thing. I'm not saying that at all. But whatever you do needs to be done regularly so people can bank on it and they know what to expect. I would rather you commit to doing 1 webinar a month than have you do 4 in a month, skip for 3, and then do 2, and then skip for 1, and then do, people can't get on board with that. They don't know what to expect, and so what you lose out on is that ability to build. And that's the power of online marketing, is that it creates a build. That the more consistent you are, the more it expands and the more people that you get. So I'm excited to teach you some of my favorite strategies. You're going to get some powerful training here, and you better be ready to plug in, engage, and be super consistent. All right, that's it for this video.